We navigate our days, often on a well-worn path, guided by thoughts and beliefs we rarely pause to inspect. Have you ever felt a subtle disquiet, a sense that the map you're following might not be entirely your own, a feeling that you're living out a script written by someone or something else? This quiet unease is more common than we think. It's the hum beneath the surface of our busy lives, a whisper that asks, "Is this truly it? Is this truly me?" We seek answers in achievements, in relationships, in acquiring more, yet the whisper often remains. This search for something more, something authentic, is a deeply human yearning, a call from within that beckons us toward a different kind of understanding. The ancient philosopher Socrates, a figure who profoundly shaped Western thought, believed that such an unexamined life was not truly worth living. He proposed that wisdom begins not with having all the answers, but with the courage to ask the deepest, most unsettling questions, especially about ourselves. His method was a key to unlocking a more conscious existence. Today, we stand on the precipice of discovering one such question, a question so fundamental, so often overlooked, that it holds the potential to reshape your inner world. It's not about what you know, but how you know it and why it matters to you. This is the journey we embark on now, a journey towards the heart of your own understanding. The promise of this question isn't a magic solution, but a powerful tool, a lens through which to see yourself and your life with newfound clarity. It's a call to awaken the philosopher within you, to engage in the most important dialogue you will ever have, the one with your own soul, about its truest foundations. Imagine your mind as a grand library filled with countless volumes, your beliefs, opinions, desires, and fears. Each book represents a conviction you hold. Some are ancient, inherited, others newly acquired. But how often do you check the original manuscript? How often do you question the author of these deeply held truths? Socrates taught that true wisdom isn't found in the certainty of answers, but in the persistent, humble act of questioning. He famously claimed, "I know that I know nothing." This wasn't false modesty, but a profound recognition that our assumptions often masquerade as knowledge, blinding us to deeper truths waiting to be uncovered. We live in a world that bombards us with information, with opinions, with shoulds and musts. From a young age, we absorb these messages, often unconsciously. They become the invisible architecture of our thoughts, the bedrock upon which we build our choices, our identities, and our understanding of success and happiness. Consider a belief you hold strongly, perhaps about your capabilities, your values, or what makes a good life. Now ask yourself, where did this belief truly originate? Was it a conscious choice, forged in the fire of your own experience and reflection? Or was it absorbed, accepted without scrutiny from your upbringing, culture, or peers? This is where the Socratic path diverges from the common one. It invites us to turn our gaze inward, not just to affirm what we think, but to rigorously examine why we think it. It's a call to become an archaeologist of our own minds, digging beneath the surface layers of accepted truths. Our inner landscape is vast and complex. It's a tapestry woven with threads of experience, emotion, learning, and intuition. Some threads are vibrant and strong, chosen by us. Others may be frayed, tangled, or woven in by hands other than our own, often without our conscious permission. Recognizing this complexity is the first step. Think of your core values. Values like honesty, compassion, ambition, or security. These are powerful guiding stars. But what if one of these stars isn't truly your own? What if it's a reflection of someone else's sky, a light you've been navigating by without ever questioning its source or its destination? Our desires, too, shape our journey. We desire success, love, peace. But what does success truly mean to you beyond the definitions offered by society? Is your pursuit of it driven by an internal compass or by an external map handed to you early in life? The distinction is crucial. Assumptions are the invisible bedrock of our mental world. We assume certain things to be true about ourselves, about others, about how the world works. These assumptions are like the foundations of a house. If they are weak or misaligned, the entire structure becomes unstable, no matter how beautifully decorated the rooms. Many of these foundational assumptions are formed in childhood, before our critical faculties are fully developed. They are the water we swim in, so pervasive we often don't realize they are there. They become our default settings, operating silently in the background of our decision-making processes. Society, culture, and education further layer these assumptions. We are taught what is valuable, what is acceptable, what is normal. While these shared understandings are necessary for collective life, they can also inadvertently limit our individual perspective if we never pause to question their universal applicability to our own unique path. The problem is not that we have assumptions; they are unavoidable. The problem arises when these assumptions remain unexamined, when they dictate our lives from the shadows, unchallenged and unverified by our own conscious, adult reasoning. This is where the potential for misalignment and discontentment begins. Imagine wearing a pair of spectacles from the moment you were born, their lenses tinted a specific color. You would believe the world is that color. Unquestioned assumptions are like those lenses, coloring your perception of reality, your choices, and your potential, without you ever realizing you're wearing them. So we often navigate life based on these inherited or absorbed truths, rarely digging down to the core. We might ask, "What should I do?" Or "How can I achieve this?" But we seldom ask the deeper, more foundational question that Socrates would urge us to consider, the question that unlocks the why behind the what. This brings us closer to the heart of our inquiry. The one question isn't a simple trivia to be answered. It's an invitation to a profound internal audit, a journey to the very source code of your operating system. It's about understanding the genesis of your most fundamental guiding principles. Why do we so rarely venture into this territory of foundational questioning? One reason is comfort. It's easier to live with accepted beliefs than to challenge the very ground beneath our feet. The familiar, even if not entirely fulfilling, often feels safer than the unknown depths of self-inquiry. Another reason is fear. What if we discover that a cherished belief isn't truly ours? What if the foundations we've built our lives upon are shakier than we thought? This confrontation can be daunting. It requires courage to face potential inconsistencies or the need for significant change. Sometimes these foundations are simply invisible to us. They are so deeply embedded, so much a part of our normal, that we don't even recognize them as assumptions. They are like the air we breathe, essential, omnipresent, yet utterly unnoticed until something draws our attention to it. Our identities can also become deeply entwined with our beliefs. To question a core belief can feel like questioning who we are. This can trigger a defensive response, a desire to protect our sense of self, even if that self is built on unexamined premises. The ego prefers certainty over truth. Moreover, the pace of modern life often discourages deep reflection. We are constantly urged to do more, achieve more, consume more. There's little space carved out for the quiet, patient work of excavating our own inner worlds. The urgent often crowds out the important. We might also believe that such philosophical navel-gazing is impractical. What's the point? We might ask. How will this help me pay the bills or solve my immediate problems? But Socrates would argue that understanding oneself is the most practical skill of all, for it informs every decision and action. The allure of external validation can also keep us from looking inward. If society praises our choices, if we receive approval for living a certain way, it reinforces the path we're on, whether or not it aligns with our deepest, authentic self. We may mistake external applause for internal resonance. Perhaps we've tried to ask deep questions before, only to find ourselves confused or without clear answers. This can be discouraging. The journey of self-discovery is not always linear or easy. It requires persistence and a willingness to sit with ambiguity, a skill rarely taught or valued. So we continue, often building elaborate structures on foundations we've never inspected. We become masters of coping, adapting, and achieving within a framework that may not be of our own conscious making. But the unasked question lingers, a silent invitation to go deeper. This avoidance, however understandable, comes at a cost. It can lead to a life lived on the surface, a life of quiet compromise, or a nagging sense of inauthenticity. The call to examine our foundations is ultimately a call to live more fully, more consciously, and more freely. Socrates' enduring legacy is this imperative, to summon the courage to question, not in a destructive or cynical way, but with a genuine desire for truth and self-awareness. This courage is the key that unlocks the door to a more examined life, a life lived with intention and integrity. This courage isn't about being fearless. It's about acknowledging the fear of uncertainty, the fear of what you might find, and proceeding anyway. It's the valor of the inner explorer, willing to chart unknown territories within their own consciousness for the sake of greater understanding. The Socratic method is itself an act of courage. It involves admitting, "I don't know," as a starting point, stripping away pretensions and defenses. This vulnerability is not weakness, but an opening for genuine insight to emerge, a space where true learning can begin. To live an examined life, then, is to commit to this ongoing process of courageous self-interrogation. It's not a one-time event, but a way of being in the world, constantly curious, constantly learning, constantly refining our understanding of ourselves and our place. And so, we arrive at the threshold of the one question. It's not a riddle with a single answer, but a specific kind of inquiry. A question designed to excavate the very bedrock of your beliefs, desires, and values. Are you ready to uncover it and, more importantly, to ask it of yourself? The one question you've likely never asked yourself, in its most fundamental Socratic essence, is this: upon what unquestioned foundation does this belief, or desire, or value truly rest, and is that foundation truly my own? It's a dual inquiry into origin and ownership. Let's break this down. Upon what unquestioned foundation? This part directs you to look beneath the surface statement of the belief itself. What supports it? What underlying assumptions make this belief seem true or necessary to you? Often, these are hidden from immediate view. Does this belief or desire or value truly rest? This focuses the inquiry. Take any significant aspect of your inner world, a core belief about success, a strong desire for a particular lifestyle, a deeply held moral value. Apply the question directly to it. And is that foundation truly my own? This is the critical second part. Once you identify a foundation, you must then ask, did I consciously choose this? Did I critically evaluate it? Or was it inherited, absorbed, or accepted without question from external sources, family, society, culture? This question isn't about judging the source. An idea isn't inherently bad because it came from your parents or society. The point is to ascertain whether you have made it your own through conscious endorsement, or if it's operating within you on autopilot as an unexamined inheritance. Imagine you believe I must always be strong. Ask, upon what foundation does this rest? Perhaps it's the idea that vulnerability is weakness. Then ask, is this foundation truly mine, or was it a message I received that I never questioned? This is the Socratic drill down. Or consider a desire. I need a bigger house. Foundation. Perhaps a bigger house equals more happiness status. Is that foundation truly yours, or a societal script you've internalized? The question probes the why behind the want, seeking its authentic root. This question is powerful because it bypasses intellectual justifications for a belief and goes straight to its energetic and emotional source. It seeks the aha moment when you realize, oh, that's why I've always felt this way, and I never consciously chose it. It's a call for radical honesty with oneself. It demands that we trace our convictions back to their origins, no matter how uncomfortable that journey might be. This is not about blame, but about reclamation, reclaiming your mind, your choices, and ultimately your life. So the one question is less a single sentence and more a method of profound inquiry. It's a commitment to asking why this foundation, and is it truly mine, repeatedly, across all significant areas of your inner world. This is the Socratic key to self-knowledge. How do you begin to apply this potent question in your daily life? Start small. Choose one belief or strong desire that has a significant impact on your choices or emotions. Don't try to tackle everything at once. Patience and focus are your allies here. Find a quiet space and time where you won't be interrupted. This isn't a task for a busy commute or a noisy office. It requires a degree of solitude and introspection. Treat it as a sacred appointment with yourself, a moment for deep listening. Write down the belief or desire. Seeing it in black and white can give it a certain objectivity. Then ask the first part of the question. Upon what unquestioned foundation does this truly rest? Brainstorm. What are the underlying assumptions? Don't censor yourself. For example, if your belief is, I must always put others first, foundational ideas might include, my needs are less important, or being selfish is bad, or love means constant self-sacrifice. List as many as you can identify. This is the excavation phase. Now, for each foundation you've identified, ask the crucial second part. Is this foundation truly my own? Trace its origin. When did you first encounter this idea? Who taught it to you? Did you consciously agree with it after careful thought, or did you simply absorb it? Be gentle but firm with yourself. This isn't about finding fault with your past or with those who influenced you. It's about understanding the mechanics of your own mind. It's about distinguishing between what was programmed and what has been consciously chosen. You might find that some foundations are yours. You consciously adopted them, they resonate deeply, and they serve you well. Acknowledge and affirm these. These are the authentic pillars of your inner world. They are the sources of genuine strength. However, you will likely also find foundations that feel foreign, outdated, or even detrimental. Beliefs you picked up by osmosis that no longer fit who you are or who you want to become. These are the ones that invite a conscious reevaluation. When you identify a foundation that isn't truly yours, or one that no longer serves you, you then have a choice. You can consciously decide to release it, or to replace it with a foundation that is authentic to you now. This is where true inner freedom begins. This process isn't always comfortable. It can stir emotions. You might feel regret, confusion, or even anger. Allow these feelings to arise without judgment. They are part of the unwinding. The key is to stay with the inquiry, to keep asking, and why that? And is that truly mine? Consider journaling your discoveries. Writing can help clarify your thoughts and track your progress. It becomes a record of your inner journey, a testament to your commitment to self-understanding and conscious living. You might also discuss your insights with a trusted friend, mentor, or therapist. Sometimes, voicing these deep reflections can help solidify them or offer new perspectives. Choose someone who listens without judgment and supports your growth. Remember, this is not about achieving a perfect, fully examined mind overnight. It's a practice, a lifelong engagement with your own evolving consciousness. Each insight, each small shift, contributes to a more authentic and empowered existence. As you practice asking this one question, you'll become more adept at recognizing unexamined assumptions in real time, not just in reflection. You'll start to catch yourself before acting on an old script, pausing to ask, wait, why do I believe this is necessary or true? This Socratic inquiry is like developing a new muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. It transforms from a difficult exercise into a natural way of navigating your inner and outer worlds with greater wisdom and authenticity. It becomes your compass. What is the impact of consistently asking this powerful question? The first and most profound impact is clarity. You begin to see the hidden architecture of your mind, the often invisible forces that have shaped your thoughts, feelings, and actions. The fog begins to lift. With clarity comes a deeper sense of authenticity. As you shed beliefs and desires that were never truly yours, what remains is more genuinely you. You start to live from a place of inner alignment, where your actions resonate with your consciously chosen values. This process cultivates profound self-awareness. You become intimately familiar with your own patterns, triggers, and motivations. You understand not just what you do, but why you do it. This knowledge is a superpower in navigating life effectively. A natural consequence of this inner work is increased freedom. Freedom from the tyranny of unexamined shoulds. Freedom from past conditioning that no longer serves you. Freedom to choose your responses rather than reactively following old patterns. Your decision-making becomes more empowered and intentional. When faced with choices, big or small, you are better equipped to consult your authentic inner compass, rather than being swayed by external pressures or ingrained habits that aren't aligned with your true north. Relationships can also transform. As you become more authentic, you attract and cultivate connections based on genuine resonance rather than unmet needs or societal expectations. You communicate more honestly and listen more deeply. You may find a greater sense of inner peace. When your inner world is no longer a battleground of conflicting, unexamined beliefs, but a space consciously curated by you, there's a profound calm that settles in. The inner noise quiets down. This practice fosters resilience. When you understand your foundations, you are less easily shaken by external events or criticism. Your sense of self is anchored more deeply than in the fluctuating opinions of others or the changing circumstances of life. Ultimately, asking the one question regularly leads to a life of greater meaning and purpose. Not a purpose dictated from outside, but one that emerges organically from your deepest, most authentic self, aligned with values you have consciously chosen and affirmed. The transformation is not always dramatic or instantaneous. Often, it's a gradual unfolding, a subtle but powerful shift in how you experience yourself and the world. Like a ship subtly adjusting its rudder, you find yourself on a truer, more fulfilling course. So, how can you integrate this into the fabric of your daily existence? Begin by dedicating just a few minutes each day, or even weekly, to this reflective practice. Consistency is more important than duration, especially at the start. Small hinges swing big doors. Choose a recurring trigger or a persistent thought pattern as your starting point. When you notice it arise, instead of automatically reacting, pause, take a breath, and silently ask, upon what foundation does this rest? Is it truly mine? Don't expect immediate, earth-shattering revelations every time. Sometimes the answer will be elusive. The act of asking, of cultivating that curious Socratic mindset, is itself the practice. Insights will surface in their own time, often when you least expect them. Pay attention to your body's responses as you ask these questions. Does a particular foundation feel constricting or liberating in your physical sensations? Your body often holds wisdom that your conscious mind might overlook. Learn to listen to its subtle cues. Revisit old journals or reflections. You might find that foundations you thought were solid now appear questionable, or that you've successfully integrated new, more authentic ones. This shows your growth and reinforces the value of the ongoing process. The goal isn't to become hypercritical or to deconstruct everything to the point of paralysis. It's to cultivate a discerning mind, one that can distinguish between the inherited and the chosen, the conditioned and the authentic. It's about conscious construction, not just deconstruction. Living the examined life is ultimately an act of profound self-compassion. It's acknowledging that you are worthy of a life built on foundations that are true for you, foundations that support your flourishing and allow your unique light to shine. This journey of questioning, inspired by Socrates, is an invitation to become the primary architect of your inner world, to move from being a passive inheritor of beliefs to an active, conscious creator of your own understanding and your own path forward. So, the one question: upon what unquestioned foundation does this belief, desire, or value truly rest, and is that foundation truly my own? Is your Socratic toolkit. It's a lifelong companion for navigating the complexities of your inner landscape with wisdom and courage. By daring to ask it, you step onto the path of the examined life, a life of increasing clarity, authenticity, and freedom, a life where you are not just living, but consciously choosing how you live, from the very foundations up. This is the timeless wisdom Socrates offers us. The journey doesn't end here, it truly begins. Each time you ask this question of yourself, you deepen your understanding and reclaim a little more of your authentic self. You polish the mirror of your own perception, allowing your true reflection to shine through more clearly. Remember, the most profound answers are often found not in external seeking, but in the courageous exploration of your own inner world. The truth you seek is not far away. It resides within the questions you dare to ask yourself. What one belief, if you examine its foundation today, might open up a new horizon of understanding for you? Let that be your gentle inquiry as you move forward from this moment, carrying this Socratic spark into your life.